When it comes to SHTF, everybody asks themselves, what is the perfect tool to have if I can only choose one? Well, I got to tell you that I have tested a lot of tools, a lot of kinetic tools over the years, and I always end up going back to the old-fashioned 22. A lot of folks may disagree with me, but if you allow me, I can explain where I come from. So you ask yourself, why a 22, Believe? I mean, there is so many calibers in the world. Why 22? Okay, so I did a quick search, and the number one caliber worldwide was a 22 for rifles. The number one caliber worldwide for most bought firearms was a 22 caliber. So I was like, okay, so that right there is an indicator that a 22, no matter what happens, is going to be semi-available if something does bad happen. So that's the first thing you got to look. Availability. Can you find 22? Might cost a little bit more, but can you find 22? Right now, I can. This is the one that I use the most. This is it. This cost me 11 cents per round. Now you can find others. They're a lot cheaper, like this one. I can't remember how much I paid for this, but this is a lot cheaper. Granted, the performance, diminishes as well. Nonetheless, if you go to Africa right now, you will find 22. If you go to Argentina, you will find 22. If you go to Cuba, you will find 22. In fact, this is one of those rounds that you can find anywhere. And look, 50 rounds. How small of a box is this? It weighs almost nothing. So, availability. That's the first thing that you have to think all the time. Now you have a huge range where you can choose. You have many brands. You have Henrys, you have Remingtons, you have Rugers. Just to name a few, Keltec has, Heritage has. A lot of companies do build 22s. So, we are in the U.S. The most common 22 is the Ruger 1022. It is by far, the one with the most accessories, the ones that you can find magazines anywhere on this. That's because it's so common. It is so common that you can find parts anywhere, which is one of the criteria that you have to think. Can I find replacement parts? And the answer is the 1022 rate number one. Number one, very easy to work with, very modular to work with. You can replace a barrel, not a problem. You can replace a trigger, not a problem. The sights, all of that good stuff, not a problem. You can do that. 1022s have a lot of configurations, a lot of stocks that you can change. They have the takedowns. They have the regular ones. They have with stainless steel barrels. They have with blue barrels. I mean, there are so many configurations that you can put a 1022 that you will be mind-blowing, to tell you the truth. Now, price-wise, I would say they are not the most expensive. They are also not the cheapest one. I think it has a healthy middle range for what I have seen. I mean, I own a few. Currently, the one that Mr. Lass is training with is this one. I do have a little flagging here so everybody can see that it is unloaded and it has no magazine. Perfectly safe. So this is Lass. Again, stainless steel barrel. Nothing out of the ordinary with the scope. And that's a good thing about 1022s, because the 22 does not kick at all. You don't need to put a really expensive scope. A decent one is more than enough. I think this one was like $60. Not a big deal. It weighs almost nothing. Again, stainless steel. The stock is not wood. For an SHTF, you don't want something that is wood, mainly because if you are in the field and you start to get rain on you, that wood is going to expand and eventually it's going to crack. And that's the other thing that you have to worry about. Is it going to perform under harsh weather? Well, I got to tell you something. We have been testing this little rifles in harsh conditions. I told you all the other day that we have been training in negative conditions, negatives, like as 10 below, 20 below, and thus far, they have been performing really well. Now, Mr. Last, I show you his. This is mine right here. Mine is a takedown. Again, no magazine. In fact, I have a little flagging here so you guys can see. This one is a takedown. Again, not that expensive scope. This one, they came out with a different configuration. In fact, the stock, if I can open it, you can put magazines inside. Look at this, y'all. Look at this. All magazines have empty, by the way. But you can put magazines in here. So now you can carry 3 extra magazines in here. No problem. So that's an extra 30 rounds so you can have. Again, very easy to carry, very ergonomic, to tell you the truth. It does have down here, in here, a weatherproof space, and that's where I keep the paperwork for that. You need to have paperwork for that, and it have to be with the firearm itself. So that's where I keep that paperwork. Nonetheless, I just want to show you something so you can start considering what route to go. But nonetheless, I just wanted to give you a few examples of a good SHTF firearm. If you get to choose just one, I would strongly recommend you to go with the 22. Ammo is available everywhere. A small person can grab it and go at it with no problem. It has 0 recoil. They are quiet. They are not that loud. I mean, they're easy to maneuver, and essentially, if you have one that everybody can use, it will be even more beneficial. And of course, parts are available everywhere, and that is a key factor here: parts availability. If you have something that you cannot fix, well, guess what? All you're gonna have is a paperweight. That's all you're gonna have. So hopefully this video helps you. Hopefully it gives you ideas. Like always, rock on, prep on, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.